Hello class 10, we'll continue chapter number 7, that is chemical coordination in plants. In the last session we had a talk about 5 different kinds of plant hormones. Today in this session we'll talk about tropic movements in plants. Okay, tropic movements in plants, because in the movements of the plants also the plants hormone play a very important role there. That's why these two things, that the hormones and the movements have been given in the same chapter. All right, so here regarding the movements in plants, as you all know that plants also exhibit movements, though they cannot perform locomotion, but they can exhibit movements. Okay, so plants mainly have two regions. Okay, they have got mainly two regions, that is shoot region and root region. Shoot region and root region. So both the regions of a plant show the movements. Okay, so movements out here actually are the response to the stimulus or stimuli. Okay, stimulus means change. Okay, external or internal change, which makes the plants to respond. All right, so that is the plural form of stimulus is stimuli. All right, so both the systems, both the regions of a plant show its response or show its movements towards the stimuli. All right, and that response or that movements should be done in a correct direction, in a correct in a proper direction. Okay, which means the shoot system, okay, must grow or must move towards the source of light. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so this region is shoot region. Okay, or you can say shoot system, and this region is called root system. Okay, they have got two systems, that is shoot system or root system. So both the systems show movement, as I was telling you, and that movement should be done in a right direction, which means this shoot system must grow or must move towards the source of light, so that the leaves present in the shoot system can entrap maximum sunlight, so that they can perform photosynthesis so as to prepare the food. Okay, so in the meantime the root system must grow or must show its response or must move towards the source of soil, or the place where the water is there, where minerals are there. Okay, and in the meantime it can support the plant, so that plant can fix itself towards the to the soil. Okay, so that means it must grow towards the source of light, and it must grow towards the source of the place where water is there, and also it should support the plant to fix itself to the soil. That means the direction is fixed out here. If they go in other direction, then something wrong will happen there in the plant's life. That means the direction should be in a correct proportion of their movement, of their response. All right, so the direction of the response is related to the direction from which the stimulus comes. It's very obvious, the direction of the response. So towards which side the response has to be shown, that is directly related to the direction from which the stimulus is coming. All right, so such a response is called tropism. Such a response of the plant parts towards the source of stimuli is called tropism. It's called what? Tropism. And this tropism means out here coming from tropic. So this tropic is a word derived from Greek word called tropos. Greek word called tropos, which means to turn. Which means to turn. Okay? Tropic is a word derived from tropos, Greek word tropos, which means to turn. Alright, so the growth here, the solar system is growing, means it's showing the movement by its growth towards the source of light, and the root system is growing or is showing the response by growing or showing the movement by growing towards the source of water or the soil or the minerals. Alright, so such movements, such growth movements occurring in response to unidirectional external stimuli in the plant's part are called tropic movements. Are called what? Tropic movements. Okay, are called what? Tropic movements. Okay, tropic movements. Okay, so tropic movements are the growth movements shown by the parts of the plants. Okay, parts of the plants in response to unidirectional external stimuli. Okay, so this is the tropic movement. So there are many tropic movements in plants. Okay, there are different kinds of tropic movements in plants. First type of tropic movement we have is phototropism. 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 That means movement towards light. Okay, movement towards light. Movement means response of a plant towards the source of light. That is called phototropism. Photo means light, and tropism means the response or the movement towards something. So towards means out here the light. So phototropism. Okay. If you see a plant, okay, if you see a plant where obviously the shoot system is seen, then suppose the root region, some portions of the root, some roots are also suppose exposed. So in that case, what we see is that the shoot system we see moving towards the source of light, okay, showing its response towards the source of light, whereas the exposed roots we see moving away from the source of light. That means here what we find is that in the same plant, two responses, two different movements we see, okay, by the two different reasons. One reason, that means shoot system, is showing the movement towards the source of light, and the other reason, that is root region. Okay, so even the exposed, no matter the root which is not shown, which is already there in the soil, that is obviously going towards the source of water or deep in the soil, but some roots suppose are exposed, even they are moving away from the source of light. That means two things out here. Okay, the root out here is moving away from the source of light. So this, in the same plant, we see two different parts showing two different responses or showing two different movements. Okay, so these two movements or the responses are called like this. You see here, one is shoot system. Shoot is positively phototropic, and root is negatively phototropic. Okay, see here, two different kinds of movements here. Okay, source is the same out here. The source out here is light. So the shoot system is moving towards the source of light, which is your positively phototropic, whereas roots, okay, roots are moving away from the source of light, that is negatively phototropic. Okay, negatively phototropic. So here the movement which is showing the response of the movement towards the source of light is called phototropism. You can even see a potted plant. You just keep a potted plant there in a room. Okay, there in a room, keeping only one window of the room open. Okay, so what happens is that suppose the shoot system of the potted plant which you have been keeping there in the room, okay, suppose has in the beginning the shoot system facing the other side, okay, away from, not opposite to the window. So after some days, when you see that plant, you see the shoot system again moving towards the source of light, moving towards the window from where the light is coming. Okay, that means you see the shoot system turning towards the source of light, which means that shoot system is showing response to the light out here, which is positively phototropic. Okay, positively phototropic, which is also shown here in the diagram in your book. See here, you can carry out this experiment at your home also. Keep a potted plant there in the dark room and mark that, the direction of the shoot of the potted plant in the beginning, where it is facing. Then after a week, you just go there and you find the shoot system of that potted plant showing changing its direction, turning towards the source of light. So this means what you see out here is that shoot system showing response to the source of light. So this kind of movement of the response is called phototropism. Okay, but here the root is not moving towards the source of light, which is negatively phototropic, because root has to go against the light, not towards the source of light, but away from the source of light. It has to go downward to the soil where the water is available, and also it can support the plant to fix to the soil. Okay, so this is called your phototropism. And to have the phototropism, in the plants, oxygens play a very important role there. Okay, so plants, require the influence of oxygens to show the phototropism. That means your oxygens, which means your plant hormones, which I talked in the last session. So oxygens help in the bending of a shoot. Okay, it is helping. Here you see here the bending, is bending towards the source of light. So oxygens play a very important role in bending the shoot towards the source of light. Okay, so by getting accumulated here in the region of the shoot which is not facing the light. Okay, so here in this region, you see, in this region, suppose this is a potted plant out here. Okay, you see bending towards the source of light. Suppose the light is here, source of light is here. You see the plant bending towards the source of light here like this. Okay, so here, in order to make the plant bend towards the source of light, your oxygens play a very important role out here by getting accumulated here in this region which is not facing the light. So this is a very important role you see being played by oxygen in the bending of the plant towards the source of light. Okay, so oxygens stimulate here the rapid cell elongation. Cell gets elongated under the influence of your oxygens out here, so that the shoot system can bend towards the source of light. So this is all about phototropism here. So in one sentence, what phototropism actually is nothing but is the movement towards the light. That is phototropism. Okay. Next tropic movement we have is geotropism. Geotropism. Okay, geotropism, or it is also called gravitropism. Okay, it is also called gravitropism. geotropism or gravitopism. Means the movement towards gravity. Movement towards gravity. Okay, so movement shown by the plant parts towards gravity. Okay, that is called geotropism. Clear? So if you it is better to go through this activity first. Okay, you just keep a potted plant just upright, no problem. The shoot is directly towards the source of light, and the root is towards the gravity. Okay, so but if you tilt it and keep like this, what you find is that over the course of time, not today itself, not next day, but in next few days, what you can see is that you see the movement of the shoot like this, okay, towards the source of light. Okay, but you see the root going towards gravity, okay, towards gravity of the earth. See here, it is like that. It is, so this root is showing the movement towards gravity. So it is positively geotropic. Positively geotropic. Okay, towards the earth, towards the soil. Okay, and this is negatively geotropic. Negatively geotropic. So here also we see the two different regions showing two different responses or two different movements. So here the roots moving towards the earth, okay, towards the gravity, whereas the shoot is going against it, away from the gravity or the the soil. Okay, see here. So this kind of movement is called geotropism or gravitropism. It is very clearly shown. So here in these two regions, let me repeat it once again. The root is showing the the movement towards the soil, because soil, as I've told you, has to collect the water, has to collect the minerals, and it is attracted by the gravity of the earth. Okay, so and it also has to fix the plant to the soil. Okay, whereas the other reason, like shoot system, has to go to the source of light, because it has to entrap maximum sunlight, so that it is negatively geotropic here in this particular case. Okay, so this is your geotropism, the movement towards gravity or towards the earth or the soil. That is called your geotropism. Today we'll do only this much. Rest of the tropic movements will be discussed in the next session, and we'll be completing the entire chapter in the next session itself. Okay, thank you very much.